Hi, welcome to Inside the Moms Club, where being a mom is the coolest place to be. Here in the Moms Club, we believe that what embarrasses you now will make a great story later. And let's face it, you don't laugh sometimes, you're gonna cry. Join us in having a good laugh together. I'm Monica Samuels. You are now inside the Moms Club, your private destination for all things mom.
Okay.
Welcome, moms. Welcome to Inside the Moms Club. I'm your host, Monica Samuels, and I'm here with my co-host, Julie Orchid.
Well, hey, Monica. This is a different look today.
It is. I found these great, you know, I'm always looking for, I shop like crazy. I'll buy pretty much anything, as evidenced by the fact I'm wearing these. I found these great glasses because for those in podcast world, I'm wearing glasses that around the rim says "Bless your heart."
Mm-hmm. Now I have a different definition of what that means, but why are you wearing "Bless your heart" glasses today? This is different.
Okay, this is how you use them. I figured it out. Okay. So, as we all know, for those who are not from the South, "Bless your heart" means, well, okay. So my mother sometimes, when I'm not feeling well, or she'll say "Bless your heart." She does not mean that.
Like in any other way than how it goes.
Oh, yeah. In the South, though, there's another way to say it, which is, well, bless your heart, which is not nice. So
I don't think I can say it on the
these
show.
Glasses, but this is the great thing. So, for example, yesterday I had a very belligerent, arrogant TSA officer who was giving me a hard time because I just tried to push my bin because it wasn't moving. And he wheeled around and told me that just because I'm pre-checked does not mean I'm entitled, whatever that means. My complaint to the complaint department at TSA will determine what that really means. But
right.
Had I had my glasses handy,
you could have just gone.
Because you can't say anything to these people, right?
No.
So I could have just said.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think it would have gotten the message
across. Don't you
across.
think, anytime you feel like saying it, but you know that wouldn't be a good idea?
Yeah, I think it's
just
great.
I
think most people would get the message.
Bless your heart.
Well, we have had a little bit of time off, and now we're back. We're back in LA filming our podcast. We're super excited to be here. But I have to say, getting back into it, the whole thing of flying again yesterday and coming and doing all this, like people that barge all the way from the back to the front to get off first, and they're taking your head off with, here we go. All I need is...
You need bless your heart glasses.
You just need the glasses to...
You look good on you.
Oh, thanks.
You're very fashionable.
Well, all right. So anyway, getting back into it has been
Well, and
thanks, Tony. Yeah.
When I look at this, so bless your heart, that just started making me think about. So I did some TikToks, and you did them with me actually, where the word demure has been popular
it's been a thing.
And somebody told me, oh, you know what, demure is a bad thing. It's not a good thing. Which I really.
Well, it's kind of setting us back, laid us back a little bit, I think.
If someone's like, oh, do you not want to be demure? I'm like,
no, it's
really?
a play on words. It's been a fun week doing it.
Well, it was fun, so my son is now dating a lovely girl from Minneapolis.
Oh.
She's very sweet, very nice. And I did my book tour years ago. I went to Minneapolis.
Yeah.
And then someone told me the other day, Minnesota nice is not nice.
Oh,
it's passive aggressive?
I don't know about that. I grew up going to St. Louis Park, and I have to say,
I had nothing but good experiences in Minneapolis, and of course, my son's girlfriend, assuming that's still his girlfriend.
So I don't know what article you were reading, but we need to find out if that's true or false.
What? We have an expert.
Oh,
we have an expert here today who can tell us all about that, and not only that, she has had an impressive improv and sketch comedy career. She was among the cast of Mad TV, where she created characters like Lorraine.
Yes.
And Stuart's mom, who I think is named Doreen, but I can't remember exactly. But my favorite character, and I don't want to say I can relate to it because that would sound terrible, but was Joan Calamezzo on Parks and Recreation, where she was the host of Pawnee Today.
Pawnee Today.
And I always enjoyed seeing that. I wish we had some gotcha girls who on the show sometime.
I know.
She is an Emmy nominee, and she's qualified as the Moms Club. She's the mother of one son. Please welcome Mo Collins. Welcome to the Moms Club.
All right.
Hello, Mo. Well, straighten this out for us. Is Minnesota nice? Nice.
Yes.
Okay, well, that's what I thought.
Yes.
Somebody said, "Oh, that's passive aggressive." I'm like, "What? What's being nice? That? What does that mean?" I think it's nice. Yeah.
Minnesota people in general,
Yeah.
yeah, they're very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In fact, like right now, I've been so excited because through Tim Walz, people are seeing the true character of Minnesota through him. He's the epitome.
Yeah.
Like it's just so, I love watching him because I'm like, yeah, that's
Like community, changing your tire in the snow, like all
Yes.
of that. It's a true story.
Well,
it's a true story. I mean, it's coined because it's true. You know, I mean, it's true. Which isn't to say that there aren't bad
Well,
people
sure.
everywhere and assholes everywhere.
Yeah,
But as a general rule, Minnesota is a very kind place.
There you go.
I really enjoyed it. Now, when I went on my book tour, it was June, so it was beautiful. And I thought, wow, I'd like to live here. And then someone else said, well, do you see all those tunnels or those, you know, you may not
The
be so happy.
skyway
I'm
system.
from Texas, so that might be hard. But, and in fairness, the person who told me that about Minnesota nice was actually from another local state.
And maybe they weren't so nice.
Well, I kind of wonder what's going on up there because this person's from Wisconsin and they also don't like people from Illinois. So maybe
Lord.
there's a state
Yeah.
thing going on there. But yes, I've had nothing but good experiences. So
I think
Yeah.
we all need
It's a
to
great
glad
place.
to
be
glad to
patient and
straighten
kind.
that out. Unlike bless your heart, which will never be redeemed as a saying. Trust me. So so you are from Minneapolis, and tell us how your career took you from Minneapolis to all of the amazing things you've done. We just touched on your career. It's been
Oh.
amazing, as we say here on the Moms Club.
Thanks. Well, I mean, when my son was 2, I had come out to LA and friends and myself, we had written a show and put it up. And, you know, I was really dreaming of living in Los Angeles. And when my son was 2, I sold the house, packed him up in a U-Haul with 3 cats and headed out to LA. And within the first year, I got Mad TV. So it was the right choice because ultimately I did it. You know, it's like if I was going to lead by example with my child,
Yeah.
I had to show him what it looked like to go for it and to go for your dreams and do what you love and be who you are.
And does he say that he looks back? I mean, he was 2. You know what I mean? Like over your career, that he's so glad that you went for it and did everything that you did. I mean, he's an adult now, right?
Yeah, he's 29. It's not like he has anything to compare it to because he was too young to remember
Yeah.
life in Minnesota. So for him, he's an LA
Yep.
person, and that's really all he's ever known.
Yeah.
You know, so he's glad. He loves it here.
So is he live here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. That's
Good.
cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
He lives up in Beechwood Canyon.
Yeah. It would be nice for adult children to live in the same town. No, just kidding.
It's a shout
It is
out
nice.
to her
I
daughter.
mean, he just recently moved from an apartment across the street where he lived for 6 or 7 years, and that was nice too. Even though I didn't see him a lot,
Sure.
I still just like to see his car parked on the street or the light on in his apartment. I was like,
That
is
feels
nice.
good. That feels
that's
nice.
still comforting.
That saves you from having to check Life 360 all the time, like
Yeah.
Julie here.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. I
track
never check Life
pretty much
360.
everybody.
Yeah.
So
Every day.
now,
Yeah.
did you do improv in Minneapolis, or so that's where you
Yeah.
started? Because
Yeah,
improv.
I mean, I started doing improv in 8th grade,
Oh wow.
and then after kind of getting asked to leave college a little early,
Oh.
and I didn't know what to do with my life. I remembered improv, that thing that I loved. And there's a company up in Minneapolis, much like Groundlings or Second City. And I
Yeah.
signed up with Dudley Riggs' Brave New Workshop in Minneapolis and signed up for classes and got into the touring company. And before you know it, I had a check and I was with people I love.
Yeah.
You know, I found my hive, and it just went on from there.
Now, for those moms out there who don't know, so explain a little bit how improv works. Like it takes you have to be really smart and on your toes to be successful at that, I would think.
I don't know if you have to be really smart.
Oh.
Um,
Well, that's good news for
thing
you
that
moms
wasn't-
out there
This is
who
good
aren't,
news.
who
This is
aren't
good
smart.
news.
You have hope.
No, you have to be I don't know, have a certain level of bravery, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Quick-witted. Yeah.
But improv is, you get suggestions from the audience
Ah.
and then you create a scene out of nothing. It's theater without a net.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. That's really all it is. And
Yeah.
anybody can do it.
When did you know that improv was like in your blood, like your, dear friend, like that you just like ate it up? How did you know you had the it
In
factor?
eighth grade. In eighth
You
grade. I mean,
just-
up until that point, everybody knew me as Maureen. I was a very painfully shy person. And then the theater teacher, Mr. Hermerding,
Aw.
he was in the busy hall of the junior high that year. He goes, "Hey, Mo." And I'm like, oh my God, whoever he is, I would not want to be him.
Yeah.
Because Mr. Hermerding had a big, booming, scary voice. And he was pointing at me, and he goes, "Yeah, you get over here and sign up for this." And it was to be a part of we would write sketches, we would learn improv and do improv and perform. And he basically, he kind of split my personality for me and made space for Mo, this other part of who I am.
This creative side.
Gave Mo the freedom to do this. I was able to kind of just separate my shy self from what he saw in me. And then I built it from there. So, I mean, honestly, I fell in love with it in eighth grade, and it's been my BFF ever since.
Have you found that a lot of, because you hear this a lot, people that are pretty shy are actually some of the best comedians and entertainers that do that are really shy people. Like in their own lives, they're not out there all the time, which is kind of funny too, because people expect them. And when they see them in public to think, oh, she's got to be hilarious because she's always.
Yeah. Yeah, and the opposite can be said too. A lot of the loudmouths out there that think they're funny.
Oh yeah,
not so funny.
Not so funny. Yeah.
But I do think that, and I say this a lot about people in comedy, is that at the root of it is this desire to be taken seriously, right? And it's a tool to that, I guess. But I mean, if you are shy, it's a tool to it's like another persona to step away from your shy self and get out and get your ideas out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, yeah.
So if your child is sort of introverted, you might want to explore that a little bit with them. Maybe they
You mean improv?
Theater. Yeah. Do some things that they can kind of be outside of themselves, which is a great thing. Well, here on the Moms Club, our motto is, if you don't laugh, sometimes you're going to cry. So we're all about laughter. And on Mad TV, you delivered it all the time. So what was humor and comedy, have you ever thought about trying more dramatic stuff, or you think comedy is like?
Yeah, I have. I mean, the last job I really had was Fear the Walking Dead. That was a drama series. But and I've done other sporadic drama projects over the years, and I want to do it all. Unfortunately, Hollywood doesn't want me right now, so it's just not my time.
It's a hard business. Do you have a favorite? Do you have a favorite role, favorite audition that you were like really, was able to dive into?
I dive into everything I do.
Sure.
That's me when I work. I'm a diver. I give 200%. For me, the favorite parts are just the moments with the people that I've gotten to work with.
Yeah.
I really have gotten to have great times with great people. I've gotten my share of fun experiences and just really incredible people.
Well, I'm really dying to know how many takes when the Gotcha Girls would come across the stage did you have to do when you weren't losing it? Or was it always able to roll with it? I mean, that always it kills me every time.
Oh, I don't know how many takes. I mean, it's hard to say. There's usually I don't know, 3 or 4 takes of things that they were just getting. And of course, when you do it, it's like they do the wide shot, they do the medium shot, they do close-up shots. So you're actually doing the same scene multiple times.
Right.
And then they put it all together. But we certainly had our laughs. The tough times is when you can't stop. Like you get into, I'm sure you all have had those times where you just, laughter hits that funny bone so hard.
Yeah, you get the giggles and you can't.
That you just can't. It's like, my cousin and I, when we used to go to church together, it's like we'd always end up having to leave the church.
Right.
We just couldn't come back. Too hard.
And it's interesting too, on Mad TV and some of the clips that are out there on YouTube now are clips where you actually were laughing and and couldn't
Yeah.
stop because whoever you were working with was
Oh,
pretty
brutal.
funny. Yeah,
Yeah, I
and
used
those
to
were
try
funny.
so hard not to laugh. Just
Yeah.
so hard. I mean, they used to take bets on when,
Yeah.
how long it would take before I would crack up. And man, I would do everything I could to just try and win those bets. But I think I lost every time.
Well, you were entertaining either way.
Yes, for
so,
sure.
So where did the character, because it was developed over time, where did Joan Calamezzo come from? I mean,
They wrote her.
What did you draw on
They wrote her.
No, they wrote her.
Yeah, and I auditioned for it.
So we're not going to break news here, like your alcoholic
What I drew
past.
from is
Yeah.
my friends and I, we used to watch like those kind of sad cable access shows that were out there.
Yeah.
Used to love those. They were just so odd and kitschy, and so it kind of just drew from that for the character, just pretending to be professional.
Oh,
when
yeah.
You really don't know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I started with Joan, and of course, over time, producers and writers realized that they could expand the character with me, because like every time I'd show up to set, Amy Poehler would just say, "Mo's here, keep the camera rolling," because of the improv. It's like until they say cut, I'm gonna keep going.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. That's full support, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean, letting you shine and do your
Well,
thing.
it's all about. First of all, there were no egos on this show
Sure.
because when the captain of the ship, Amy, has no ego, you can't come aboard and have an ego yourself. So it was a great playground. It was just a fantastic playground, and it's when you let the cameras go beyond the script and such, you're essentially mining for comedy gold, and usually find some.
Yeah.
And then you have that in the editing. It's great.
Well, I mean, I can only speak as a parent. Like, listen, when you hear your kids belly laughing from the other room and you're on in the other room and so it was classic. It was good. And you could tell. So thanks for sharing that story.
Yeah. Well, I always say if you're going to be doing comedy, making comedy, you should probably be having fun doing it.
Yes.
'Cause I just kind of feel like that's going to come across if you don't. And I've been on some things. I don't specifically remember what, but it was like, this isn't fun, you guys. This is supposed to be comedy. Let's have fun.
Yeah, for sure. For
yeah,
sure.
that should be the main rule. Yeah, if you're not having fun, I don't know how you can be funny, actually.
Yeah.
Well, and what's not so fun, but you hit on it. So that's kind of you've been in a tough business. I mean, the ups and downs. How have you stayed grounded and gone through the years, and no matter who you are, you can win an Academy Award one year and the next year it's like, oh, who's that? I mean, I've seen.
Yeah.
So
thank you for calling me grounded. That feels really good.
I just met you, but I sense that. Yeah.
She's never called me that, just so you know.
No, Julie's not. So see, you want to see the contrast right here. You are, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the resilience in this business is about what you're doing when you're not working.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's been most of my career. Most of my career is not working. That's just fact.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've certainly had my moments of going crazy, and you try and keep busy, and now it's like I have not worked on camera for a couple years, and not a lot of auditions coming through either. So I paint. I've gone back to
I was just
what
about to ask you, what are you
yeah.
doing right now to when you are,
I
not
paint.
working? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've been an artist all my life. Thought that was actually what I was going to be. And, I joked that I'm not actually going to plan B. I'm going back to plan A.
Oh, yeah. That's a good way to put it. Oh, yeah.
It makes it less sad.
You're like, excuse me, this was plan A all along.
Yeah, no,
It was plan A, so...
what are you painting?
I'm in my studio painting every day. I have my websites. I sell. I do commissions.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to come to Round Top, Texas, Mo. Sell your stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a whole different story.
No,
Yeah.
that's very, very cool.
Yeah. We couldn't paint anything, Monica.
No, I can't paint. I can't sing. I can't dance.
I know, it's a sad state of affairs.
But I can write. I wrote a book, so
there
which
you
was
go.
quite an experience in and of itself.
Well, I have questions about you being a mom just because we are inside the Moms Club and we do talk to a lot of people, whether, you know, they have kids or not. But I'd love to hear about, were you that football mom? Did you, did you do it all? And if we were to ask your son, what would he say about you as a mom and parenting?
Well, he's very quiet, but but yeah, I was a very active mom, even though, like I was working Mad TV for, from what, 5 to 10 years old, I think he was, something, or three, whatever, I don't know.
Yeah.
A lot of the years I was working, and there'd be times I never had a nanny or anything like that. That's the Minnesota in me.
Yeah.
You raise your own children. And so there'd be times I'd have to leave the makeup chair, halfway into Doreen Larkin and go pick up my kid from school, and I'd bring him back to the studio.
Yeah.
And, I had stuff for him to do in my room, but I was the only mom on that show. And so it was really cool how everybody just they were all the aunts and uncles of my kid. It was great. Like, he'd spend time up in hair and makeup. They'd do his hair. They'd dress him up in capes and all this fun stuff. So he got to experience that. But my son was very athletic. And so he was in all the sports, all of them. And he was really good. So, he would get brought into these more private baseball leagues and stuff like that. And so it was a lot, man. It was a lot of taking him around to practice and games. And then he was captain of the football team in high school. He was a quarterback. Went through the trauma of being that mom up in the stands and watching your kid get hit.
That's not easy.
Yeah, that was not easy. 2 concussions.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I was a baseball mom, so I totally get the whole thing. So I was team mom, so I had to collect everybody's birth certificates and then
make sure
the other team wasn't cheating by putting kids on who professed to be 9 but had mustaches and weeds. I don't think that's actually a real birth certificate. So you did all that, I guess, because that's a lot.
I did, and wow. I really liked being the mom that had all the kids over to her house.
Yeah.
So I can kind of keep tabs on what my son is doing. But a lot of the kids on our block did not have the same, security that my son did. And so there are even times, where we had for a while, one of his friend's mother was, she was in prison. Yeah. And it just sort of happened, and he was left at our house, and I'm like, well, I guess you're staying here.
You're spending the night here for a while.
He spent months. He spent almost a year here.
Well, that's amazing.
But that's sort of what our household was just an open place and safe place for, these were all boys, and I loved it. Like the slumber parties, and then my son, bunch of them, they formed a band. And so they had the garage, they played the band, and then they had gigs down in Hollywood even. And
oh my God.
I had a Tahoe at the time, and so I'd get all the instruments in my car and take them to their gigs. I liked being that mom.
Yeah. I mean, so far you've got it figured out. You need a village to raise your kid. I'm a big believer in that. And then you have them all over to your house. I mean, you get to know them and you get to keep tabs on them. I think that, I try to keep my house
that way.
The
cool thing about women is that we are also within each and every one of us an entire village.
That's true. That is so true. Well, and so the way our show kind of got started is there's 5 of us who are really close friends.
Yeah.
Through our kids, and so we're sort of the Moms Club, even though we're just really good friends. But since you were such an involved mom, did you have a group of mom friends who, you got close to, or did you find some moms that would always, say, oh, bless your heart. I mean, what was it like with the other moms?
Well, a lot of them didn't have a mom that was available, so I did not meet a lot of the moms.
Oh. Wow.
To be honest, I had friends at the games and stuff. We sit in the bleachers and talk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How's your group of friends now? Your close girlfriends? Just tight. Love it.
Yeah. It's a smaller circle now.
Yeah.
It's like I don't feel this need to just be everybody's. On everybody's list. I just don't need that anymore.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. my list is tight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It changes, it becomes more intimate and
Yeah.
more, you get to be more real, you get to be more honest, and yeah, you don't need
Yeah.
all that other fluff. I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, what's your next act? Being a famous artist, or always
Okay.
going to remember Mo Collins
sounds
as an
good.
artist?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah,
I like
okay.
that. Mm-hmm.
That sounds good. No, look, it's like, I don't ever cut off any of my limbs, as it were. It's like, I'm a lot of things. Mo is short for more. And
Mm-hmm. Oh, I like
in
that.
the meantime, I am pushing my art and doing my stuff with that. But, if at any time some director producer wants to pull me out Betty White, Jennifer Coolidge style and put me to work on camera again,
Mm-hmm.
they know
Well,
where to find me.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. I
You
can
know.
speak. I would love to see that for
Yeah,
sure.
that would
Yeah, I would love to see that too.
Yes. What do you
Because
paint?
I don't feel like I'm done there, and God knows I've got
God.
more character qualities now than ever.
Listen,
You
we're
know,
sitting up straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So what are you painting? I'm really curious. Like, what are you painting? Is it
everything.
scenes? Is it?
It's I work in oil, I work in acrylic a lot.
Yeah.
Uh, my work is not put into a box, kind of like just like my acting. You can't put me
Yeah.
into box. I do a lot of abstract stuff. Lately, a lot of people have been having me do abstract wilderness stuff.
Uh-huh.
I do a lot of heads. I just call them heads,
Oh.
but they're honestly just kind of like characters, which is funny because I'm also a character actor. But I
Yeah.
call them heads. They're abstract. Yeah, I paint whatever. I'm working on I just got a triptych, which is 3 pieces of art that go together. Got a commission to do that.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
amazing.
So,
So I have one
um,
question for you besides the art. I just read a little while ago this morning that the Dances with the Stars list came out. Would that be today? I saw that Eric Roberts signed up. If anybody ever tapped you for that, would you do Dances with the Stars?
oof, not with my knees.
We'd have to keep it on the ground, right? Like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, unless they just want to twirl me over their
Sure,
head
sure.
the entire time, I just don't know that it's
Yeah.
feasible. To be honest, like, I
Listen,
don't
miracles
know.
happen, Mo. Miracles happen. So I just thought it was
Oh, I
funny.
believe that.
Yeah. The list
Yeah, I
came out and I
believe
was like,
that,
God, I
but-
wonder if Mo would sign up for that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't sign up for it. No,
Yeah. Well,
But you might do it.
maybe.
Maybe.
I hear
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
What? Yeah. What's the number? Would it afford me new knees?
We'll
You're
put a
exact-
plug in for you. Well, no, there you could. Yeah, it could be sponsored by some, Medtronics or
God, that's a
something.
great
They could
idea.
replace
Yeah.
your knees and put you on Dancing
And
with
then
the
put her
Stars
on
and
the
say,
star-
"Look at her. She's like,
Yeah,
she won."
I'd be out like the first round. It's like, oh, Mo Collins is down. But at least I could say I did it and take that
Yeah.
check.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Well, we have some women and young women
Young
who would
women.
like to ask you some
Yes.
questions. They are our Zoomer moms and our Zoomer,
Zoomer
daughters. A
daughters.
special treat this time. So welcome, Zoomer mom and Zoomer daughters. Welcome to the Moms Club. Well, hello, ladies, and we are so glad to have you. Introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and then do you have a question for Mo Monroe? Welcome to the Moms Club.
Hi, Mo.
There you
Hello,
go.
how are you?
I am doing well. It is such a pleasure to meet you.
Nice to
I
meet
am
you
a
too.
Mad TV junkie,
A
and I
what
have
junkie?
a Mad TV junkie.
Ah,
I like being able to do something on a whim, and you are awesome at that. So I want to tell you that first. But what I want to ask you is, what is it on your bucket list as it relates to acting that you would like to tackle in your career at this point in your life?
Drama.
yeah.
Drama.
I do. I want to do drama. I want to do things. I mean, yeah, I do feel like I'm headed into more character and more richer characters to do. I'd love to do some, I mean, even if it's like some, like, not gory horror, but a thriller or something where I'm some evil woman. Like,
Yeah.
I think that would be super fun to do. I like playing broken people.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's a
Yeah,
good
broken.
I think that would
storyline.
be great for a lot of people.
Yeah, I like broken people, underlings. Is that the right way to say it?
Uh-huh.
Um, I like doing those kinds of characters,
Okay.
bringing them to light. That's
So
Yeah.
that's interesting. So Lorraine on Mad TV was funny, but sort of you could have. It's a little bit broken, right? I mean that you find her one
the
day
perception
living in
of her is
somebody's
that she's
garage.
broken.
Yeah.
That's the thing about broken people. It's often perception
Uh-huh.
that they are broken. And quite honestly, you could look at every one of us and say, broken.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all here to break and repair and break and repair, and
Yeah.
it's not a perfect journey.
Yeah.
So I like going into those characters, including Lorraine, and going, how do they operate? What moves them? Those things. And then, I put myself into that. What similarities do I have to that person? God knows I'm coming to be more and more like Lorraine all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
That's a good answer.
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah.
I wasn't expecting that.
Well, we have also Zoomer daughters, and this is
May
very.
I just ask her one more quick
Oh,
question?
you sure can,
It's
Monroe.
going to
You
be
go
really
for it.
quick.
Yeah.
So, have you considered that maybe this downtime is a time where you're just really preparing for that biggest role that you want?
I am. Do you know what I mean? It's like I am preparing. There is no direct way in my mind to prepare other than to, just keep being me
Yeah.
and learning my lessons. And those are the things I'll bring whenever the thing dangles itself and presents itself. But, my husband actually coined this, and I think it's so true. Being an actor is like, you're kind of like an assassin. You always have to be ready
Yes.
for when you do get that call.
Mm-hmm.
So those things to me mean keeping myself healthy and ready to just go. It's something in the mind that is ready. That's the prep.
Yeah.
Is to always be ready to jump. But in the meantime, being creative is just at least keeping creativity flowing through my old bones.
Yeah.
But,
not only are you creative, I forgot to mention this, that you're really involved like with animals. And yeah, do you have a certain number of rescued dogs, cats? I really don't know the answer to this. I just was like, wait a second, you do a lot of, saving.
Yeah, I do. I'm on the board with Stand Up for Pits, which
Oh,
is
yes.
a pit bull advocacy.
Oh yeah.
I've been with them from the start. We currently have Walter, who's a 165-pound Dane Mastiff. He's huge.
I thought you were going to say 165 years old, but yeah, you're right.
Nope, he's only 2.
Oh my God.
And then we got Beanie, who is just a hot mess. I
Yeah.
mean, she's an 8-year-old. She was bred for 8 years, dumped in the desert. She's a Staffy pit bull mix.
Oh wow.
And we deal with her. She's a lot. There's Toodles the cat, who's still with us,
Toodles.
who we literally found under our bed.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Wait, you
indoors?
found it
like
under
our bed.
Okay.
Our bed. We heard meowing for a couple nights, couldn't figure out where it was coming from, like a little kitten mews. We're looking outside out the screen door, like, where the hell is this? What is
Were
going
you like
on?
to your
'Cause, of
husband,
course,
do you
I'm
have a
the
new
first, like,
weird habit? Like, why are you meowing? Like, what is that? Like, I can't
Yeah,
imagine
but-
find a kitten under your bed.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that's not where he was the first couple nights we were hearing
Sure.
it. Maybe he was outside somewhere, but somehow maybe my other cat actually brought him in and
Oh,
under the bed.
wow.
No idea. But we did ultimately find Dusty Toodles
Oh
under
my
the bed. Just
Wow.
a little tiny kitten.
Well,
So that's who lives in the house now. And then there's Scallywags, who's outside, and we also take care of him.
Oh my gosh.
that's an interesting.
But yeah, we get animals here. It's just,
Yeah, it's hard to say no, isn't it?
yeah, you don't say no. You
I
help.
thought your story. So Julie picked up a cat at a rest stop,
His
in
name is
Mississippi.
South,
So I
we
thought
named
that
him
was the
South.
strangest adoption story I had heard. But yeah, finding one under your bed, that
Yeah.
you can't quite
Monica's
beat
going to
that.
write a book, Rest Stop Kitty.
Yes, Rest Stop Kitty
Yeah.
is on my list of things that I will be doing in my
Yes.
downtime. I will write Rest Stop.
Well, I just had to mention it because I forgot that, I saw a glimpse of that and I was like, oh my God, we all love animals. We have plenty of them, in our household. So I think it's important.
Yeah.
And it's very healing.
It is very cool. And yeah, my son has a dog that he talked us into letting him have. He's part Great Dane, and we think he's part Great Dane and part Beagle because he's marked like a beagle,
sweet.
but he's hyper and he's destructive at times, and we even had an incident
he needs a
recently.
doggy
I was
therapist.
kicking a
He's-
ball for
yeah.
him, and I accidentally kicked it where he bit my leg, and so I ended up in the ER. And I had my son's like, "Don't tell them Max bit you; they will take him down." I said, "I will cover for Max if you do one favor for me, and that is." If you take Max to the vet, because I did kick him in the face, you explain that my mother did not mean to kick my dog in the face.
Right. We don't want this
So
to turn
neither
into an
one of us
issue.
want to go to prison over this.
Yeah.
So we've had some
Yeah.
issues, but it means it's very important. I think that's great that you do that. That is amazing.
And I think there's nothing better than raising kids with pets.
Oh yeah. I
Listen,
agree.
I've been talked into snakes, ferrets, Stinky Smokey. I could do a whole show on Stinky Smokey.
Yeah.
But yeah,
you
so
should. Yeah, that was
for
quite
sure. Hamsters that didn't make it very long, not mentioning anyone
Yeah,
on the
it's
show that
Good way
yeah.
to teach and show empathy,
Exactly.
And God knows we could use
100%.
more of that in the world.
Well, and speaking of that, on the show today, we have a Zoomer. We have two Zoomer daughters, and one of them is Julie's daughter.
I know.
And so we were so excited to have her because, like, my son, one time I posted something on Instagram and I saw a comment and it said, it was from him, I believe I may have a lawsuit for defamation now. So he is not allowed on the show yet until he kind of figures that out. But we are so happy to have Georgia on the show today. So Georgia, do you have a question for Mo?
She is beaming.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm, it's so amazing to finally meet you, and had no idea that I was going to get to talk to you this week, but I'm a
Wow.
Parks and Rec fan, and when I put it together that you were Joan Calamez's was your character, it was amazing, and her character arch throughout the entire show is really, really impressive, and
Yeah.
that shows how much skill you have. You talked a bit about the positive experience that you had working on that set, and as somebody who's going into my first job out of college, and I'm going in and working with a lot of people and meeting them. Can you talk a bit about what a really positive, a really positive work environment in the studio, and what it's like to, want to work with people, and what kind of people nights to be?
I think part of what it is, if what was so great about going there was that the people that are there all the time, the series regular cast, the crew, the directors, producers and stuff, they're so welcoming, right? It's like they don't treat you like some other.
Mm-hmm.
You're brought in like a cousin or something to the party. And I think that any workplace can do that. It's how you welcome people. It's how you make them feel comfortable, ask them questions about themselves, engage. And beyond anything, it's just be considerate.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so simple. Consider other people. Be considerate, be kind, and engage.
Yeah, that's great.
That's a great,
That's-
engage
Was that really funny to be really mean to Amy Poehler on a normal basis?
tell the truth.
I know, Joan.
I mean, it's the nicest people play the funniest villains.
Oh, I know. Oh, we would just howl after a take, and I mean, there was some times where I would just be like, "Oh, Amy, I feel just terrible saying this to you," and just give her a hug or something because.
Yeah, but the worse you made her feel, the more funny it was to the audience.
Oh yeah, and the harder we would laugh when the take was over. It was just like we talked like just so rotten. Like Joan was just so rotten,
Yes.
But I would be sure to, jump right back into myself afterwards. I did not want to be misconstrued.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, I have a history of playing some real bitchy characters, and I just I don't know. I'm good at it.
Ah.
I don't know what to say about
You ever
that.
get to help write the character after a while, or include some of your improv?
Say that again.
Did you ever get to include some of your improv, or
Oh
had
yeah.
kind of ideas that made it in
Oh,
there?
oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's what I say. Like when Amy said, keep the camera rolling, because Mo's here. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah,
She's on a roll.
That's
Yeah.
that is
yeah.
great.
It's good stuff.
Emily, we have another daughter here.
Ah,
She's
we
not my
do.
daughter.
She's-
She's my brother-in-law's daughter. She's my niece. Emily, welcome to the Moms Club. Do you have a question for Mo?
Hello. Yes, I do.
Hi.
I was wondering what the most rewarding experience or role in your career has been.
Mm.
Get to reach
That's
deep today.
always,
Yeah.
it's always a hard question because, like I say, it's like moments with people, but doing Sarah on Fear the Walking Dead
Yeah.
was a very deeply personal journey, I would say. She was just this badass, and like I was cast as Sarah when I was 53, and after my first season, my cancer came back,
Mm.
and I didn't tell anybody, just because denial was a big part of my my program. But Sarah gave me so much strength.
Oh.
I drew from her. And so even like, when I was home or whatever and feeling weak because I was on a chemo pill for years and just feeling like poop. I don't know
Yeah.
if I can say the other here. I would have Sarah take me for a walk,
Ah.
and I would literally go out, take on her stature and feel her strength and go for a walk. And then I would feel strong. So that was just this really beautiful symbiotic relationship that I had with Sarah. And vice versa, it's like Sarah being as kind of hard as she was, I brought Mo into her and softened her in some interesting ways, only because like half the time in sad scenes, I couldn't,
Yeah.
Mo became overly emotional and it was just, and my emotions would come through Sarah. But so that was a very satisfying. And the other side of it, of course, was those were super duper hard days. Like that is the hardest job I ever did. Like we're talking 16, 18-hour days out in whether it's heat, cold. We weren't in trailers. We weren't in nice, comfy places. It's like between takes, I'm squatting in the grass or whatever,
Sure.
like watching out for scorpions because we shot in Austin, Texas.
Yeah,
and
you
outside
did.
it.
Yeah.
But at the end of, I remember just like one time in particular, pulled into the hotel room, 8 a.m, and I just took a moment to congratulate myself, because I knew what I was going through with my health, and that I did it so well. I got through it all so well. And so that's a great victory, right? Like when we have those moments where you just get through some tough stuff and you're like, I did it.
Yeah.
That's just about one of the coolest things you can walk away with in any aspect of life. When you go, I did it. And then it's character building, it becomes who you are. And of course, as my body gets weaker and weaker and weaker, I know I'm more badass than ever because I did those things. I've gone through those things and I am more resilient as a result. I should end this by saying I am cancer free.
Yes.
Congratulations.
I mean, yay, we love that. I was going to ask you when the kids asked you a question, is like, as a mom, and especially my daughter being on the show today, I was like, well, what advice? But you need to say no more, because everything that you just said to these young ladies who are, in their young 20s, you draw from the strengths around you, and you know what I mean? Engage. Like, all of this is excellent advice. It's not a perfect road. And everything you just said, I just feel like I went to church.
I
Mo.
love
Good
it.
Lord.
Yeah, and I think
like I was like,
I
whoop,
think you fully established that
said. Yeah.
Minnesota nice is nice.
That's right.
Oh, good.
100%.
That's really what I wanted
Yes.
to clear up.
You proved it right here by being on the show. Well, we so much
Hey, look,
appreciate.
you know, it's like that's what life is. You young ones listening, it's
Yeah.
like, it's about finding out your capacity in life, right? Hard things are only put in front of you because the universe knows before you do that you can get through it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then you get through it and you go, holy crap, I got through it.
Yeah.
And I'm better for it. I'm bigger. I've expanded my capacity for life.
Yeah.
Yep.
Big stuff.
That
Big
is
stuff.
great advice.
Georgia's taking notes like she's in class. She's like, hold on.
Yes.
Can you say that
Yes.
again? Little does she
She's
know
gonna
she can listen to
Be
it
watching,
later.
Capacity.
listening to this podcast over and
Capacity.
over and
Build
over
your
again.
capacity for life.
Exactly. Well, we want to thank our Zoomer moms and Zoomer daughters here.
Yeah.
They've been great to have you. You guys have been, ladies,
Thanks
have
for
been
the great questions.
amazing. Yeah, awesome questions. We'll have to have Zoomer
Yeah.
daughters on more often. They do
mean,
a great job.
really.
And the Zoomer mom,
I
Monroe,
learned from
great
my
question.
I learned from everyone's kids. I learned from my own. They are my greatest teachers, you know, even when I don't want to admit it.
Well, I'm glad you admitted
Yeah.
it here
On
this
camera.
show. Well,
Yeah.
Mo, where can we find your art? Where can people find you on social media
Yeah,
and
I
look
wanna
at your art and commission you? I was going to send you a picture of Julie's head, and maybe you can do an abstract for me. We can give it to her for her birthday.
Well, all
I've
right.
done that.
Yeah.
My website is mocollinsart.com. Pretty
Okay.
simple.
Okay.
And on Instagram, I have my, you know, just sort of my page, but then I also separately have at Mo Collins Art on the Instagram site.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, great.
And that's
Well,
where I do a lot of fun videos and stuff and show how I work and stuff like that.
oh, that's
Oh,
great. Well,
that's
check
fun.
it
I can't
out,
wait.
moms out there. That is amazing. And we want you to check us out on Instagram at Inside the Moms Club, on TikTok. We have a YouTube channel. We're all over the place. So
Yes.
but it's at Inside the Moms Club or InsideTheMomsClub.com. We also want to thank our sponsors, the Beeman Hotel in Dallas, Texas, who is going to do special events with us. It looks like that's going to be in the works, so look out for that. And also, Newcom,
Yeah.
which, if you haven't heard, the Surgeon General has said that parenting can be harmful to your health. Now, do I agree with that? Well, no, not necessarily, but there is a lot of stress involved, and Newcom will help you relieve your stress. I use it. Julie, well, Julie's using it more often, so see, she's not
Very
quite there yet,
calm.
but she's going to get there. 'Cause she's going to get, she's
Work
going to
in
do what
progress.
moms need to do, which is, if you put Moms Club in the code at checkout, you're going to get 15% off every month of
Yeah.
your subscription.
Sign up.
Because at Newcom, they appreciate that moms need Newcom maybe more than anybody else. So definitely check that out. Well, it has been so much fun as usual. I'm so excited. I'm going to go out there and
Wear your glasses
not be
today.
mean to anybody. I'm just going to throw my glasses on if I have a problem, and I think that's going to solve it. So I'm very excited about that. Well, we will be back next time with celebrities and extraordinary moms just like you. We know your me time is precious and valuable out there, moms. We thank you so much. Oh, and remember our motto.
That's right.
As you're out there all day long. If you don't laugh, sometimes you're going to cry.
Definitely
You do not
cry.
want to cry if you can help it. Laugh out there, moms, and we'll see you next time inside the